Last time. The crisis of the Republic. After a century of crisis, Augustus took power, changing Rome's substance. After that, Rome never returned to the old Republic. The age of emperors had begun. History Episode 21. Classical Era. The Roman Empire. Part 1. Augustus, the architect of empire. Augustus ruled 41 years, building a standing army, new roads, and a rebuilt administration. He maintained 25 standing legions, roughly 150,000 legionaries, stationed along the frontiers. Augustus struggled with succession, finally naming Tiberius, his stepson and adopted son, as heir. When Augustus died in AD 14, Rome had already become a different political system. Part 2. The Julio-Claudian dynasty. The shadow of power. Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero. After Augustus, the Julio-Claudian house continued to rule. Many cruel stories survive about Caligula and Nero, but many came through hostile political traditions. In AD 64, the Great Fire of Rome burned much of the city. Whether Nero ordered it remains uncertain. After the fire, Nero built his lavish golden house. Public resentment grew. In AD 68, Nero took his own life amid rebellion. The Julio-Claudian dynasty ended. The following year saw 4 emperors. The army had proven it could make emperors. Part 3. The Colosseum and the Flavian dynasty. Vespasian ended the chaos and founded the Flavian dynasty. He began a massive building program. The Flavian amphitheater, the Colosseum, opened in AD 80. It could hold about 50,000 spectators. Gladiator fights did not always end in death. Surrender was accepted. But violence was entertainment. The Colosseum was not simply entertainment. It was a stage for the emperor to display power and generosity. In AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted. Pompeii and Herculaneum were buried under ash and volcanic debris. Part 4. The 5 Good Emperors. The Empire's Peak. A legionary's life involved more marching than fighting. The army built roads, bridges, and forts. From AD 96, 5 emperors ruled for 84 years, favoring adoption and ability over bloodline. Trajan brought the empire to its greatest territorial extent in AD 117. From Dacia to Mesopotamia, Hadrian chose consolidation over conquest, strengthening the frontiers and building a great wall in Britain. Antoninus Pius ruled 23 peaceful years, the calmest of the 5 emperors. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote his meditations even on campaign, reflecting on self-governance. But in his later reign, Germanic tribes began pressing the frontier. The age of peace was beginning to waver. In AD 180, Marcus Aurelius died. Unlike his recent predecessors, he passed power to his biological son, Commodus. Part 5. The Art of Governing. How Rome actually worked. About 80,000 kilometers of paved roads linked the empire, carrying armies, mail, and trade. Citizenship gradually extended across the empire over generations, transforming what it meant to be Roman. Roman law and local customs worked together, as Rome expanded courts to settle disputes. Diverse peoples and religions coexisted within the empire. Rome generally absorbed conquered gods rather than erasing them. Public baths were vital spaces in Roman cities, where people bathed, socialized, and talked politics. Nearly 1 million people lived in Rome, most in multi-story apartment blocks called insulae. It was prone to fire and collapse. Governors were sent across the empire to rule provinces, collect taxes, and apply Roman law. Slavery was central to the Roman economy. But many enslaved people were freed and became citizens, sometimes rising to importance. Rome imported enormous grain shipments from Egypt and North Africa every year. If supply failed, even the emperor's authority shook. Part 6. What the Roman Empire left behind. Roman law remains the foundation of many European legal systems today. Roman roads, bridges, and aqueducts still survive. Some still used today. Latin did not disappear. It lives on in French, Spanish, Italian, and Romanian. The 5 good emperors marked the high point of nearly 2 centuries of Roman stability. But with Commodus's accession, the adoptive pattern of succession ended. The age of stability was beginning to fade. Rome was still powerful, but cracks were showing in 2 centuries of stability. Next time. Crisis and transformation. The chaos of the 3rd century, and Rome's first fractures.